Hello, this one's going to be a little spicy. If your For You page is full of girls and boys in linen dresses talking about choosing ease while sipping $20 smoothies in their perfectly curated apartments, we need to talk. Because somewhere between rejecting toxic hustle culture and embracing soft life, we might have swung too far in the other direction. And the psychology behind why this is a trend that is exploding right now, well, it may be more complicated than your favorite influencer wants you to think. Welcome back to Huddle Psychology, where we get uncomfortably real about the stuff that is going on in your head. And I'm Rahul Nair, and we are here to decode the psychology behind why we do the weird things we actually do. Okay, so let's actually set this one up. The soft life movement is everywhere. It's about prioritizing peace over productivity, choosing ease over effort, focusing on being rather than doing. And look, after years of rise and grind culture literally burning people out, I get the appeal. I really do. But I'm seeing something a lot more concerning. People using soft life to justify avoiding anything challenging or uncomfortable, quitting jobs without backup plans and calling it choosing peace, avoiding difficult conversations and calling it protecting your energy, and refusing to develop skills or work toward goals and calling it rejecting capitalism. Come on. Don't get me wrong though. Some of soft life philosophy is really needed. We've in many ways pathologized rest and romanticized burnout and convinced a whole generation of people that your worth equals your productivity. But there's a difference between sustainable living and using wellness language to avoid growth. So let's get in to the psychology of what's really driving this trend. How do you embrace softness without accidentally embracing stagnation? That's the question. So, first, let's understand why soft life resonates so deeply right now. We're living through what psychologists call acceleration syndrome, meaning the feeling that life is speeding up beyond our own ability to cope with it, right? Technology, social media, economic instability, climate change, all the wars that are going on all around the world, everything just feels so urgent and so overwhelming. Soft life is essentially a trauma response to hustle culture. And hustle culture, in turn, was partly a trauma response to economic instability. So, when you can't count on job security or affordable housing, you're told to optimize every moment, monetize every hobby, turn yourself into a brand, and frankly, That's exhausting. So, soft life emerges as the swing, pendulum swing. If optimization is the problem, then anti optimization must be the solution. If effort leads to burnout, then ease leads to wellness. So goes the assumption. But here's where the psychology kind of gets a little bit more nuanced and tricky. There are actually two different things being called soft life. Version one, sustainable living. This is really about working smarter, not harder, setting boundaries, prioritizing rest, choosing quality over quantity. This version is psychologically sound, psychologically healthy, physically sound. It's about sustainable success rather than burnout inducing grind. That's version one. Version two, avoidance disguised as wellness. So this is about self-care language to kind of justify not developing resilience, avoiding discomfort, or refusing responsibility. This version can actually increase anxiety and depression over a period of time. The difference really comes down to intention and outcomes. Are you choosing ease because it helps you show up better for the things that actually matter to you? Or are you choosing ease because showing up just feels so hard? Some things to reflect on. So here's what's really happening psychologically. Our culture swung from struggle is the only path to success to struggle is always unnecessary. But the truth is more nuanced than that. Some struggle builds resilience, some struggle builds competence, some struggle is just pointless suffering. The key is obviously learning to tell the difference. So, how do you embrace softness? How do you embrace softness without falling into privileged avoidance? Allow me to give you three frameworks. Growth versus grinding test. Number one, ask yourself, is this challenge helping me develop skills, resilience, or meaningful relationships? Or is it just busy work that makes me feel productive? Growth oriented difficulty is well worth it. Grinding for grinding's sake is simply not. Secondly, the privilege check. An important one, this one. Can you actually afford to choose ease right now in your life? If you have financial security, family support, or other safety nets, you have perhaps more room to prioritize softness. If, however, you don't, then some strategic effort might be necessary for survival. So be honest about your personal situation instead of pretending everyone has the same options. It's not true. The future self assessment. That's the third of the frameworks. The future self assessment. What is this? Will choosing ease right now help or hurt your long term well being? Sometimes rest and boundaries set you up for sustainable success. Sometimes avoiding challenges keeps you simply stuck in situations that require more effort a little later on. Look, the goal is not to turn or not to return to toxic productivity culture. It's to find out what psychologists like to call optimal challenge, which is there should be enough difficulty to grow, not so much that you actually burn out. Real soft life is not about avoiding all effort, it's about being intentional with your effort. It's choosing to work hard on things that align with your values while refusing to grind for, say, external validation. It's about setting boundaries around other people's urgency while staying committed to your own growth. That's what real soft life is about. And please, can we talk about the aesthetics for a second? I really need to. The soft life content that we see online, the beautiful apartments, expensive smoothies, designer loungewear, that's not soft life. That's marketing done very well. But that's not real soft life. Real softness might look like saying no to a social event when you're tired, maybe choosing a walk over a workout when your body is really calling out for gentleness, or it's about having a difficult conversation instead of having or avoiding conflict. That's what real soft life is all about. So, here's your homework for the week with respect to this. Identify one area, one area in your life where you might be using soft life language to kind of avoid something challenging but necessary. Is there something like that in your life? Maybe it's a difficult conversation, a skill you need to develop, or a goal that requires consistent effort from you. Ask yourself, am I avoiding this because it's genuinely unhealthy or because it's just uncomfortable? Then identify one area where you genuinely need more softness, where you're grinding without purpose or pushing when you should be actually resting. The goal is intentional living here. The goal is all about intentional living and not just easy living. Sometimes the softest thing you can do for your future or your future self is something difficult today. Let me repeat that. Sometimes the softest thing you can do for your future self is doing something difficult today. So that's about the soft life movement. Next week, however, we are going deep on attachment theory, especially in the age of dating applications. Spoiler alert, if you've ever wondered why modern dating feels like psychological warfare, your attachment style might be getting triggered by technology in ways that would blow Freud's mind. Anyway, that's all for next week. In the meantime, let me know in the comments, how do you distinguish between healthy softness and avoidance in your own life? Let's keep this conversation nuanced. The world needs fewer extreme takes and more thoughtful middle grounds. And as always, if you want to go deeper into this subject, please check out HuddlePsychology.substack.com for the full research breakdown around this topic. Need to talk it through one on one? Hit me up at rahul@huddlepsychology.com and I'll try and get back to you ASAP. So that's it for this week's video, this week's session. Hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, keep huddling and keep growing. Ciao for now.